I leave at 1 p.m. from Brooklyn, and to get to Work Island, it takes me a fucking hour. Are you just picking your noses, being like, I wonder what I should do right now? Rascando la barriga, being like, I wonder what I should do right now. Should I get in my car and make Tefi Pessoa late for every fucking thing? Yeah, that's what the fuck it feels like. Go to work, stay there. From The Cut and the Vox Media Podcast Network, this is Tefi Talks. I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood because this morning I did the worst thing possible for a girl to do. No, I didn't stand in traffic. Rather, I went to try on clothes in a retail store with overhead fluorescent lighting. Whoever created that, can I ask you something? Yeah, physical violence, okay? But I'm in a cagey mood, okay? I grew up in a country where you could make fun of anybody and it would be okay. When I say it would be okay, it doesn't mean that you could make fun of Britney Spears and not hear from me. You're gonna fucking hear from me. How fucking dare you? If you cannot criticize or you cannot compete or compare. I want to see you hit all of the choreo, every fucking 8 count for I'm a Slave for You. I want to see it 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you hit it perfectly, no notes, then let's hear your opinion on Britney Spears. But alas, until then, back to Jimmy Kimmel. I cannot believe I'm living in a time right now where people are scared that the president is going to be mad at you. There's only one person Donald Trump should be mad at, and that is his spray tanner. You would think that the aesthetic of this office is the same coloring as the president. All I'm going to say is, if I had to give advice to Donald Trump, which I would say, you have every microphone in the world waiting to see what you're going to say with bated breath. You could definitely threaten and instill fear into every writer in America to give you some of the best material. And you can then go on camera and just drag every single talk show host that's ever made fun of you. And that's what I think George Bush's dream. We made fun of him relentlessly. But he was a good sport about it, I think. Or Dick Cheney had just pulled out all the plugs from the TVs and they're like, oh no, it doesn't work. Oh no, I got your TV, it doesn't work. What's FEMA? I just feel like with 1 cup of coffee in my Vyvanse prescription, I could write a manuscript on how to drag every single person's ever left a mean comment to me without seeing their name or face or voice or anything, or 1 post. I could do that. I could do that. You're telling me that what you rather do is pull the plug on a show? Pussy shit. Real pussy shit. I also want to note, I did see a comment the other day on the YouTube, someone saying, if you want to catch all of Tefi's jokes, play this at 0.75 speed. That made me fucking laugh. That's fucking funny. That person should be writing for a very sensitive president. Support for Tefi Talks comes from Macy's. Putting together a fall outfit works kind of like putting together a puzzle. You take little pieces here and there that together complete a stylish, cozy picture. Or you can put together a whole outfit in one giant piece like a beautiful puffer maxi jacket. Whatever look you're going for this fall, you can find inspo from the Macy's Fall Fashion Guide. Explore their style guide for yourself and find your look. Shop in store or online at Macys.com. Support for the show comes from Dove. Finding a good deodorant that stays at your side, or rather under your sides, through thick and thin can be tough. That's why Dove made their aluminum-free deodorant. It's made to be gentle to skin, and it'll keep you smelling fresh for up to 72 hours. So finally, the search is over. An aluminum-free deodorant that won't let you down. Find your one true Dove. Choose Dove aluminum-free deodorant for 72-hour freshness and odor protection. Buy online at dove.com or at a retailer near you. Here at Tefi Talks, we like to talk showbiz because there's no business like business that isn't mine. For today's deep dive, we're going to be talking Brangelina. I haven't heard that name in years. It's so sad Brad Pitt is such an ass. And before we do our deep dive, we're going to be getting into some headlines that caught my eye this week. In news that will leave your jaw exactly where it is right now, Glenn Close loves to be naked. I love looking at a woman and being like, you were a naked mom. It's a particularly free woman. She's the kind of woman that's like, if you're going to smoke weed, I'd rather you just do it in the backyard and I won't tell your dad. Whereas my mom was like, if I see you having a sip of champagne in New Year's, you will sleep outside. And me looking at her and say, I'm 21 years old. That's the kind of mom I grew up with, okay? My mom once told me that if I packed a lighter, because she knew I was already smoking cigarettes, if I packed a lighter on my carry-on, that I would be arrested on the plane. Guess what? I was holding on to my purse the whole flight like this. You know? But Glenn Close is a different kind of mom, I feel. So Glenn Close recently did an interview about her upcoming movie, The Summer Book, where she has a few nude scenes. Say whatever you want about Glenn Close, but that bitch continues to work, okay? Her heel of her foot, not of her shoe, because she's naked, keeps hitting that pavement. Her, Nicole Kidman. Who else is a woman who's like always fucking working? Me. But anyway, about her nude scenes, Glenn Close says, no, it was my idea. She said that she thought that that's something her character would do when no one else is around. Except for cameras. When you read the log line for the movie that Glenn Close said being naked is perfect for her character for, it does get confusing. Allow me. 9-year-old Sophia spends the summers at her family's seasonal home on a tranquil isle in the Gulf of Finland. Who knew Finland had a gulf? Not me. But this will be the first summer without her mother. Her father remains numbed by grief while her grandmother, played by Glenn Close, well, of course, she's over the age of 35. It's either hot, sexy girl or grandmother or fun aunt. But she guides her granddaughter on a giddy, winding path towards young adulthood in a delicate account of growing up and growing old. Why in God's name would Glenn Close need to be naked in a movie about guiding her granddaughter through the journey of grief? So speaking of people who've helped me on my winding path towards young adulthood, Camp Rock 3 has started filming. Yes, 15 years after Camp Rock 2, the final jam, came out on Disney Channel, the Jonas Brothers have touched down in Vancouver. Joe Jonas is absolutely killing it on TikTok. There are people in the world that don't know Joe Jonas as part of the Jonas Brothers. They know him as a TikToker. And you know what? Whoever is advising him on what TikToks to do, could I get a call with you? You're killing it. All 3 Jonas Brothers will guest star in the movie. Demi Lovato will not be in the movie at all. But she'll be, exactly. People are flipping tables. No, guys, please. But she is an executive producer on the project. If I was a producer on a project, the first thing I would take care of is making sure that craft table is no Nature Valley bars. Nature Valley bars have a purpose, and it is to be opened in your ex's bed. For what? Emotional terrorism. That's it. Anyway, in past interviews, Demi has opened up about having trouble recalling the period of Camp Rock, which was right before she checked into rehab. Demi says the first time she had tried cocaine, which was in 2009, she was 17, around the time she was filming Camp Rock 2. Okay, and let me say this. I'm glad you're clean and sober, but whatever you were doing, it worked. What an incredible film. What an incredible film. Speaking of cocaine, last May, Cardi B and Stefon were seen having a yacht party with a bunch of other beautiful ladies, and they were seen carrying around a pink substance. They're having a baby. I am a little concerned for my girl Cardi. I love her. I've always loved her. Has she always said the perfect thing? Nay. I feel like Cardi B is now talking about like healing from her divorce from Offset, which was so terrible. Like he really put her through hell and back. And now she's jumped into like a new relationship, which is fine. And now she's having a baby. I'm concerned for my girl because patterns are patterns. And I worry that this man is a bit whorish in nature. The first time I ever heard of Mr. Diggs, it was when he was playing for the Vikings, and they asked every teammate in the locker room who they do not want their sister dating. Guess who they said?
Diggs. Diggs.
Diggs.
Just to clarify, not Diggs.
I'm a great guy.
It's not that I have anything against whorish men. Well, free speech is illegal now, but is lying illegal? No. Come and get me. Clink, clink. But I do worry for my girl, Cardi. I think my parasocial relationship with Cardi is showing because she speaks so freely on social media and she's shared so much. It does feel like we know her, you know? And I just want to look at her and be like, hey, girl, these are her shoulders. Hey, girl, what are you doing? But anyway, Cardi B did an interview with Gayle King this week, and she shared, that she's pregnant and that she hasn't told her parents. And Gayle says, why? Why haven't you told your parents? She says, because I'm scared of them. Why would you be scared of them? Because, and also in the interview, she's like, well, they do be looking at me like this. I would be looking, that's how I'm looking. Cardi, I'm looking at you right now. I support you, Queenie. Women's rights. And women's questionable decisions. I'm super happy for her, as you can tell from this segment. I'm super happy for her. I'm just worried. I'm just concerned. I want her to be happy and safe. And she says that she's feeling safe and confident. Who am I to say, no, you're not. No, you're not. I'm just concerned. Maybe, he wrung the slut out of him like a towel. The year is 2003. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie meet on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Angelina Jolie is recently divorced from Billy Bob Thornton, who ghosted Laura Dern for Angelina Jolie. If you watched the Laura Dern deep dive, you know. But let me also say this. Angelina and Billy Bob, did they break up because they fell out of love? No, it's because Billy Bob Thornton told Angelina, I don't want kids. And Angelina had recently gone to Cambodia with humanitarian aid and saw a little boy, and she adopted him. And she chose the little boy over Billy Bob Thornton, which is the smartest thing he could have ever done. Sometimes I do watch Billy Bob Thornton on TV, though, and I go, I do see a little sexiness to you. And then I remembered that he married someone behind his girlfriend's back and then left that wife because she met a boy in Cambodia that she then adopted. Men are so fucking weird. Anyway, before this moment in time, Angelina was seen as a wild child in Hollywood, and that she was, okay? Before I realized my feelings towards ladies, I would be like, why can't, I just want to be just like Angelina Jolie. I love her. I can't stop thinking about her. All I want to do is talk about Angelina Jolie. I would want to be Angelina Jolie's best friend. And then I was like, also Britney Spears. I'm in love with Britney Spears. Recently, I was talking to someone about Britney Spears, and I was like, I don't know. I was just obsessed with Britney Spears. I couldn't get enough of Britney Spears. And then she was like, did you watch all of her music videos? And I'd be like, yeah, even on mute. Okay. But Angelina Jolie was seen as a wild child, okay? Go ahead and Google Angelina Jolie kissing brother 2000. That was weird. You know what's crazier? She did it twice with tongue. Somebody could have a gun to my head and say, I will shoot you if you don't make out with your brother. And I'll look at my brother and say, tell mom I'm going to miss her so much. But anyway, she was also, in contrast, a United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees ambassador that already adopted her son, Maddox. I just want to talk about the brother thing one more time. When I did the Brangelina series, everybody talked on TikTok. Everybody was like, that is so fucking disgusting. Angelina Jolie is such a homewrecker. And I hate when people talk shit about women, even when they're a mistress. It just drives me fucking insane. I feel like women are already so criticized. You know what I mean? So then I made an Angelina Jolie series and I talk about the brother, okay? And somebody commented saying, everybody is criticizing Angelina when really she's just European and that's something to do in Europe. I promise you, I think I had 500 replies to that one comment saying, hi, Norwegian here, what the fuck? Hi, I'm from France. I've never made out with my brother. Another girl was like, I've lived in Europe my entire life. I have never once thought about making out with my brother. People were making reply videos being like, in what world do Americans think that Europeans say, hi, mom, hi, dad, hey, brother, But Angelina did, and she's not from Europe. She's from Beverly Hills. So Brad, during this time, is fully married to Jennifer Aniston. They met in 1998 at a dinner party, and he proposes to her on stage in 1999 at a Sting concert at the House of Blues, which is what every 90s girl's dream. So Brad, at this point, he is a A-list celebrity. I mean, he was in Thelma and Louise. Do you remember those abs? I sure fucking do. Legends of the Fall, that movie kills me. Fight Club. He had also been in My Dreams. His reputation was that of a movie star hunk married to breath of fresh air, easygoing, funny girl, Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston, I cannot emphasize enough. Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Garner, they were America's fucking sweethearts, okay? They were untouchables. Those three women to fuck with. Actually, I used to work for InStyle magazine, and there was a rule when I started working there. They're like, you can never speak poorly of the three Jennifers, who were Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Garner. There's no way it was Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Love Hewitt? No, I think it was Jennifer Lopez. Doesn't matter. How times have changed. But Jennifer Aniston was very much like the girl. Rachel Green was the girl. And Angelina was seen as like a, get on the back of my motorcycle. We're going to go drive through barbed wire. So Angelina definitely knew who Jennifer Aniston was, but says, when I met Brad for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I had no idea his relationship status. That is a bold-faced lie, and that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Maybe it's true. Maybe, no, there's no way. She definitely knew, which is, I don't know, maybe motherhood got in the way of her reading magazines? I don't know. But she says this in 2006. I did not know much about exactly where Brad was in his personal life, which is what cheaters say. You know what I mean? Have you ever gotten the hey girly DM? I have many times. And the first thing, I saw pictures of you guys, but I didn't know if you guys were like still together. I'm like, really? Because it's April. My last picture with him is in March. But it was clear he was with his best friend, someone he loves and respects. So we were both living, I suppose, very full lives. I think we were the last two people who were looking for a relationship. I certainly wasn't. I was quite content to be a single mom. That I do believe. I do believe they were not planning for this. And there's all this like talk about Angelina Jolie like having her sights set on Brad Pitt. I don't believe that to be true. Okay. She said that they were brought closer by doing crazy things. I think she means, like Angelina does all her own stunts. I think they were doing a lot of fun stuff on Mr. and Mrs. Smith and giggling and laughing and rubbing shoulder to shoulder and going, and they struck up a friendship. She said that she started looking forward to seeing him at work. Okay. I do believe Brad Pitt pursued her. That doesn't make an excuse for Angelina. It doesn't. But I do believe that he pursued her at work. And during this time, I remember many magazines were reporting that they had spoken to hotel staff in Rome where they were staying, that Brad would send her flowers every day. The Sun, notoriously a piece of shit publication, but whatever, ran a story that said Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie made so much noise during a hotel romp that other guests thought they had been attacked by wild animals. That's just tacky. And I'm a little jealous. Now, the tabloids started to paint this picture of this rivalry between America's sweetheart versus Angelina, black cat energy, dangerous woman with a clueless man in the middle of it all. Like Brad Pitt was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No. But then Mr. and Mrs. Smith paused filming. Brad and Angelina pumped the brakes while he filmed Ocean's 11, and the crisis seemed to have been averted. Brad and Jennifer attend the Troy premiere and dispel speculation of a Pitt-Jolie affair. Mr. and Mrs. Smith starts filming again in August. On January 7th, 2005, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston announced the separation to people in a joint statement. I'd like to note, time stood still. My teachers in high school read this statement in class. We could not fucking believables. We would like to announce that after 7 years together, we have decided to formally separate. For those who follow these sorts of things, we would like to explain that our separation is not the result of any speculation reported by the tabloid media. Now, if I put on my common sense goggles and I read this again, it says, "We are breaking up. He's been cheating." Okay. This decision is the result of much thoughtful consideration. He broke up with me. We will remain committed and caring friends with great love and admiration for one another. Jennifer's trying to be mature about this. We ask in advance for your kindness and sensitivity in the coming months. Please don't be mean to Brad. That's the Tef translation, okay? And I was able to read through that as a 15-year-old. Publicly, they remain very, very, very good friends, whatever. I will say I'm not playing nuance queen, okay? But I will say is, I do think Angelina Jolie was madly fucking in love with this man, and he probably told her the same shit blonde men say all the time. You ever see a blonde man and you're like, ugh, grow up. You know what I mean? Angelina says that there's one moment that really moved things along. One day, her son Maddox, just out of the blue, called Brad Pitt dad. It was amazing. We were playing with cars on the floor of a hotel room. We both heard it and didn't say anything and just looked at each other. So that was probably the most defining moment when he decided that we would all be a family. Side note, Angelina Jolie has severe daddy issues. Jon Voight left Angelina Jolie's mother in poverty. He has been hot and cold with Angelina her whole life. I'll never forget this one story where he comes back to film Tomb Raider 2 with Angelina after they had not spoken for years and years and years. They are hugging in a car when filming is over. She's dropping him off at the airport. Jon Voight hugs his daughter, says, "I wrote this letter for you. Please don't read it until I leave." Angelina's crying, saying, "I love you so much, Dad." She says that he gets out of the car, she opens it, and he says, "You are a piece of shit human. You are vile. I could never stand. I disapprove of your lifestyle, everything. The man is a psychopath, okay? So not only does she have these daddy issues, she also brought Maddox into a single parent home, and she was married to someone that did not want him. So I am sure Brad Pitt being like, "It's me, Papa," I'm sure it did something to her. In July, Brad and Angelina do their famous cover of W Mag. Cruelty aside, it's an incredible fucking cover. It's titled Domestic Bliss. If you think you can't get over a breakup, Jennifer Aniston is fine, bitch. Also, note this. Jennifer Aniston, people during this time are like, well, of course Brad Pitt is with Angelina. Jennifer Aniston never wanted children. And this narrative went on for years and years and years, to the point where Jennifer had to go on Oprah and say, I did want children. So now you want children, your man leaves you, and he's seen adopting children in Kenya with his co-star he swore he never had a feelings for. Anyway, so Domestic Bliss comes out. It's an incredible fucking cover, okay? It's an incredible spread. Angelina just adopted her second child, Zahara. And this 60-page portfolio was a collaboration between Pitt and the photographer Stephen Klein. In January 2006, if everything before wasn't confirmation enough, the Associated Press shares that Angelina Jolie is pregnant. And by May, Angelina gives birth to Shiloh in Namibia. A judge also signs off on changing Maddox's and Zahara's last names to Jolie Pitt, and Pitt's legal adoption of the children is finalized. Angelina and Brad sold the first photos of their child to the highest bidder, which ended up being People magazine. And they reportedly gave the proceeds to charity. I think it's like $10 million. No exaggeration. If there's one thing Brad and Angelina knew how to do, it was how to leverage their celebrity and scandal and mold the media however they wanted it to be covered. They are PR geniuses. In 2012, Angelina Jolie steps out wearing a $1 million engagement ring. The diamond is the size of my head, okay? And they blame the kids for putting pressure on them to get engaged. In 2014, to their kids' thrill, I'm sure, they get married at the Chateau Miraval in France. As displayed on the cover of People magazine, Versace made Angelina's dress, and they sewed on drawings from their kids onto the dress and veil. It is the cutest fucking thing in the world. Pitt wore a suit from his closet with a tie, borrowed from one of his sons because he forgot to pack his. Whatever. It's like, okay. Men are so quirky. Men are so fun. Shut the fuck up. On September 20th, 2016, the world learns that Angelina Jolie has filed for divorce from Brad Pitt and requested primary custody of her 6 children. By the sea, by the courthouse, bitch. Okay. So this story takes a bit of a dark turn. So I'm going to do a trigger warning here for DV, okay? So essentially, they own a winery together. And what we learned is that the FBI reviewed an incident in which Brad allegedly got verbally and physically abusive with one of his children on their private plane. And the details of this altercation came out during a lawsuit that Brad brought against Angelina for selling their shares of the French winery that the couple owned together. What I'm trying to say here is that Angelina Jolie was not like gleeful and skipping to, to testify. She was forced to because of the lawsuit that Brad Pitt strung against her and these courthouse proceedings. By the end of the year, Brad and Angelina came to a temporary custody agreement. Pitt has not been seen publicly with his children since the divorce. On the other hand, all of the children publicly joined Angelina for the premiere of Marvel's Eternals. In 2023, Zahara and Shiloh drop Pitt from the last part of their last names, going back to just Jolie. Also, don't forget Maddox's Father's Day post when he says, Happy Father's Day to like the worst dad ever or whatever, calls him an asshole on Instagram. I think what's interesting in all of this is that in the early 2000s, Angelina was seen as like this bad influence, and Brad was like the innocent charmer that got caught in her grasp. And behind closed doors, we see that's not exactly the case. And he seems to be pretty premeditated. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. There are few men I grew up watching on TV that I loved. Tom Cruise lit up a screen. You cannot argue with me that Tom Cruise is not one of the last movie stars. His charisma, but then you get into the Scientology of it all, and it ruins everything. You know what I mean? Then you talk about Brad Pitt, some of my favorite movies. You cannot say that his comedic timing isn't incredible. You know what I mean? Like, it is incredible. He is funny. He is talented. If I find out anything negative about Tom Hanks or Steve Martin, I don't know, or Will Smith, I'm already like I'm already scared. I'm scared to even check the news. Brad continues to be an it boy in Hollywood despite all of this. His name is a lot of producer credits, a lot. But he's still an it boy. I mean, he just came out with a movie, I feel like the other fucking day. He's always coming out with movies. He stays working, whatever. He's still an it boy, despite all of these claims. He still won an Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019, smashing $600 million with his movie F1 this year. So men can do anything, and women just have to, take it, essentially. Well, that's exhausting. Who knew people love F1 this much? I didn't. But let's consider the science. Brad Pitt, Angelina, after this break. Support for Tefi Talks comes from Macy's. Summer's almost over, and that means it's time to cycle your wardrobe to the cold setting. No! Everyone loves a breezy summer outfit, but honestly, layering is one of the best things about fall fashion. I love good color blocking. I never left 2012, and I never will. Dare I say, yellow and orange? Ooh! In any case, when it comes time to pull out your trusty cold weather staples and you realize your favorite sweater's on its last legs, do not worry. Macy's is ready with a new one. Their fall fashion guide is your one-stop shop for fall's latest trends and must-haves, curated by their experts. It makes it look easy to find the perfect layering pieces and the perfect look for you. That could be a bomber jacket from Levi's, warm knits from Tommy Hilfiger, or a belted puffer from Karl Lagerfeld. Explore their style guide for yourself and find your look. Shop in-store or online at Macys.com. Support for the show comes from Dove. We live for the moments that sweep us off our feet, like landing in a new city at night and seeing a beautiful skyline, or that moment on a first date when you realize you actually want a second one. Your deodorant should be worthy of all the amazing adventures you take it on. And now it is, with aluminum-free deodorant. With scents like coconut, pink jasmine, cucumber, and green tea, Dove aluminum-free deodorant offers long-lasting freshness with 72-hour protection. It's formulated without ingredients like aluminum, baking soda, and parabens. and it provides a clear, comfortable application. With Dove, you can give your underarms the same level of care you give the rest of your body. And the next time you're swept off your feet, you can raise your arms and fall freely, with not a thought given to body odor. The search is over. An aluminum-free deodorant that won't let you down. Find your one true Dove. Choose Dove aluminum-free deodorant for 72-hour freshness and odor protection. Buy online at dove.com or at a retailer near you. Ooh, let's consider the science. Brad Pitt was born December 18th, 1963. Before I get into the science of it, I just want to say there is no clear indicator via astrology that someone is a good or bad person or a violent person. That's what I'm trying to say here at all. I'm just trying to figure out where the spark between Angelina and Brad comes from, and maybe where some serious miscommunications and uncompatibilities come from. Okay, so he was born December 18th. No, I'm just kidding. 1963. He's a Sagittarius sun, Capricorn moon, and his Venus is in Capricorn. This is a calculated person. Again, not evil. You can be calculated about when you're going to leave your apartment to get somewhere on time. Okay? Sagittarius is at the center of a charming philosophical chaos. A Sagittarius man is so charming, and you never know if he's going to call you again. I feel like a Sagittarius man is someone who you have to really like soak in all the time you have with them during their day, because you don't know if you're going to see them again, to be honest. You don't know if they're going to meet somebody on the way home, like on the subway, and you'll never hear from them again, you know? But they've got these big smiles, these wild eyes, arms open to the experience of the universe. And if you try to put him down emotionally or rain on his parade, you will never see or hear from him again. No. A Capricorn moon, however, it does rein him in and make him feel like he has to plan for the future a little bit. I think a lot of the time Sagittarius suns, they don't want partners, they want admirers. Same as like Leos, you know, Leo men. Ooh, chilled on my spine. Angelina was born June 4th, 1975. She's a Gemini sun, Aries moon, and her Venus is in Cancer, like me. I like to say my Venus sign is in prison. The Gemini sun is where she's labeled as like this Hollywood wildcard. Gemini women are just like tantalizing, you know? They are so interesting. You feel like they could mold into any room. They could be friends with anybody. She could talk to anybody. The Venus in Cancer does make me feel like she can be a little shy though, or she can get in her head about like, I wonder what they're thinking about me. Or if she says something wrong at a party, she can go back home from the party and be like, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that? You know? Her Aries moon is very, passion first, consequences later. Meaning I rather ask for forgiveness than permission, you know? A little bit of a thrill seeker, that one. Her Venus in Cancer is soft to her core. Like having drawings her children made on her wedding dress. It's all about nostalgia, you know, it's all about romanticizing family and intimacy. You know what I mean? She's definitely the kind of person that she's like, I know that we'll grow old together, you know? I'll get on the back of your motorcycle and we'll grow old together. Think Lana Del Rey. Oh, who's a Cancer? You know? Did I do a good job? If I didn't, lie to me. And if I did, let me know. And now, can I be a bitch for a second? Why the fuck is there traffic at 2 fucking p.m.? Why the fuck is there traffic at 11 a.m.? Is this not proof enough that we are suffering in real time through an unemployment crisis? Why the fuck is nobody at work? We're just driving around, so I'm late? I leave at 1 p.m. from Brooklyn, and to get to Work Island, it takes me a fucking hour? Are you just picking your noses, being like, I wonder what I should do right now? Rascando la barriga, being like, I wonder what I should do right now. Should I get in my car and make Tefi Talks late for every fucking thing? Yeah, that's what the fuck it feels like. Go to work, stay there. Stay there from 10 to wherever, whatever the fuck. I mean, I used to go from 9 to 7 p.m. That was torturous. But I wasn't making anybody late. My ass was at work. Or if I was working remote, I was where? at home. I wasn't just over the Williamsburg Bridge. What the fuck? Also, you know what else is proof of an unemployment crisis? There's not a lot of nuance today. I feel like people are bored, so they want to be mad at me. And there's nothing really to be mad at me about. I'm just a little girl trying to be on time. So what did we learn today? We learned I love Jimmy Kimmel. I do. Glenn Close is probably naked right now. Cardi B has a type, and I'm concerned. The Jonas Brothers love camp. Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie are better off without a blonde man. And I'm late for something. If you're not already following the show, find us everywhere at Tefi Talks. We're on YouTube and on all podcast platforms, and Instagram and TikTok, so you can share with your other work bestie. You're still talking to her? I'm jealous. For a special discount on New York Magazine and The Cut, visit nymag.com/Tefi. Support for Tefi Talks comes from Macy's. Layering is an art form. It requires a bit of intention, style, and of course, the perfect cold weather staples. You can find the perfect look for you with the help of Macy's Fall Fashion Guide. It's your one-stop shop for fall's latest trends and must-haves, curated by their experts. From leather to denim to cozy knits, it makes it easy to piece together a look that feels true to you. Explore the Macy's Fall Style Guide for yourself and shop in-store or online at Macys.com. Thanks to Dove for their support. You'll know you found the one when you realize they make you feel comfortable and confident at the same time. That goes for your love life and for your deodorant too. Dove aluminum-free deodorant will keep you feeling and smelling fresh for up to 72 hours. It's made without aluminum, parabens, and baking soda, and it's gentle on your skin. The search is over. An aluminum-free deodorant that won't let you down. Find your one true Dove. Choose Dove aluminum-free deodorant for 72-hour freshness and odor protection. Buy online at dove.com or at a retailer near you.